Take a piece of paper from your wallet. Look at it. It is just a mix of cotton and linen. It has some ink on it, maybe a drawing of a dead person.
You can't eat it. You can't wear it. If you are freezing, it won't keep you warm.
And yet, you dedicate most of your waking life to acquiring it.
People steal for it. Empires go to war for it. Millions have died for it.
Why? How did a useless piece of paper become the absolute dictator of human existence? Welcome back to our 365-day journey. Today, we are tearing down the matrix. We are going to explore the greatest, most successful illusion humanity has ever created: money. If you open an economics textbook, it will tell you a very simple story about how money started.
It says that thousands of years ago, we used a system called barter.
Imagine you are a baker, and you want some meat.
But the butcher doesn't want your bread. He wants shoes. The shoemaker doesn't want meat. He wants apples.
The textbook says this was too complicated, so we invented money to fix it. It's a great story. It makes perfect sense. There is only one problem. It is completely, 100% false. Anthropologists have searched the entire globe. They have studied isolated tribes and ancient texts. And they have never found a single human society that actually relied on bartering like that. Never. So, what did ancient humans actually do before money? They used something much stronger: trust. If you killed a mammoth, you didn't trade it for 30 pairs of shoes. You just shared the meat with your village. Everyone knew you gave them food. They owed you a favor. The community functioned on a web of mental debts. But as villages grew into massive cities with thousands of strangers, you couldn't remember who owed who. You can't trust a stranger. We needed a way to physically hold a favor in our hands. Once we realized we needed physical tokens to represent trust, humans got very creative. We didn't start with shiny metal coins. We started with nature's trash. For centuries across Africa and Asia, the most powerful currency was sea snail shells, cowrie shells. Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in salt. That is actually where the word salary comes from. In medieval Russia, they used squirrel pelts. Yes, dead squirrels. But the absolute weirdest money in human history is found on a tiny Pacific island called Yap. Oh, the people of Yap didn't use small shells. They used massive carved limestone wheels called rhinestones. Some weighed 4 tons. You couldn't put that in your wallet. So when you bought something, you just left the stone where it was and said, "It's yours now." Once, a crew was transporting a giant stone across the sea, and it sank to the absolute bottom of the ocean. But the islanders agreed. The stone still existed, so the owner was still rich. They traded a rock they couldn't even see. The Yap Islanders figured out the ultimate truth about money thousands of years ago. Money is not the physical object. Money is the collective belief in it. But as global trade exploded, shells and giant sunken rocks weren't going to cut it. We needed something rare, durable, and easy to divide. We looked at the periodic table of elements. We can't use gases, they float away. We can't use liquids, they spill. We can't use iron or copper, they rust and turn green. We can't use radioactive elements, they kill you. By elimination, we were left with one perfect candidate. Element 79. Gold. Gold is chemically boring. It doesn't react with anything. A gold coin buried for 1,000 years will still shine like the day it was minted. But when we chose gold, something dark happened in the human psyche. Gold stopped being just a tool for trading. It became a god. The curse of gold began. To get this shiny yellow metal, we slaughtered indigenous populations. We burned down forests. We ripped open mountains. We pulled gold out of the ground in Africa and South America, only to melt it down, ship it to New York or London, and bury it right back underground in a dark bank vault. It just sits there, doing absolutely nothing. And yet, the entire global economy worshipped it. But gold was heavy. It was dangerous to transport. The world needed a lighter solution, and the Matrix was about to get a massive upgrade. As trade grew, gold became a massive problem. It is incredibly heavy, and robbers absolutely love it. Moving it was a nightmare. In 11th century China, the Song dynasty had a brilliant idea, a matrix-breaking idea. Why carry heavy coins? Leave the coins locked in a safe place and just carry a piece of paper that says you own the coins. This was the first paper money. It wasn't actually money. It was an IOU, a receipt. In Europe, goldsmiths did the exact same thing. They built impenetrable safes. People paid them to guard their gold. The goldsmith would give you a piece of paper proving the gold was yours. Soon, people realized it was much easier to just buy bread with the paper receipt instead of going to the vault to get the heavy gold. But then, the goldsmiths noticed a massive world-changing loophole. They came to pick up their gold at the same time. The gold just sat in the dark vault, gathering dust. So, the goldsmiths started writing extra paper receipts, fake receipts for gold that did not exist. They lent these fake receipts out to people and charged them interest. They were printing money out of thin air. This is called fractional reserve banking, and it is exactly how the modern world works today. When you take a loan to buy a house, the bank doesn't give you someone else's money. They just type numbers into a computer. They create it from nothing. The illusion was complete. The paper became the money. The gold was entirely forgotten. For a long time, paper money was still legally tied to gold. You could theoretically go to the bank and swap your paper back for the metal. Until 1971, the United States officially cut the cord. The dollar was no longer backed by gold. It was backed by absolutely nothing, just the government's promise. This is called fiat money. In Latin, fiat translates to, "let it be done." The paper has value simply because the government says it does, and all 8 billion of us agree to hallucinate together. But the matrix wasn't finished. The paper itself was about to disappear completely. Right now, look at your balance. You see a number. You tap a button and you pay for a coffee. Did any physical paper move? Did a truck carry cash to the cafe? No. Today, physical cash, the coins and the paper, makes up less than 8% of all the money in the world. The other 92%? It does not exist in the physical realm. You cannot touch it. It is just glowing pixels on a screen, lines of code sitting on a bank server. If everyone in your city went to the ATM today and asked for their cash, the banks would immediately collapse. The cash isn't there. Money has completed its epic evolution, from shells to heavy gold to paper to pure invisible data. It is the ultimate illusion, a shared hallucination that keeps 8 billion people working, building, and surviving every single day. So if money isn't gold, isn't paper, and is just a shared hallucination, is it evil? Not exactly. Money is simply the most successful story humanity has ever told. It is a tool of unprecedented power. Because we all believe in this story, we can cooperate with millions of strangers.
We can build hospitals, launch rockets, and connect the world.
The problem only begins when we forget that is just a tool. The problem begins when we make the tool our master. We trade the only finite resource we have in the universe, our time, to chase infinite, glowing digital numbers. We sacrifice our health to get the paper and then spend the paper to buy back our health. But once you see the matrix, you can't unsee it. You realize that true wealth was never the paper. True wealth is your time. It is your physical health. It is the deep, genuine connections you share with the people around you.
The next time you look at that piece of paper in your wallet, don't let it intimidate you. It has no power over you. You are the one who gives it value.
Throw it, use it, let it fly, but never let it own you.
Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the greatest illusion on Earth. If this changed how you see the world, leave a like and hit that subscribe button. We have so many more illusions to break. Our 365-day journey has only just begun. I'll see you at the next destination. Stay curious.